Greetings of the day. I welcome all of you to this session on TECH Mahindra company specific pattern paper, Aptitude Essential. Probably we might have met in the previous session on Wipro Essential. Probably this is our second meeting. I hope everyone is doing safe and great. And without further ado, we'll quickly get started with the session. And today's session will be for about 1 hour 15 minutes, and I request everybody to be with me for the entire course of the training program. And also I have come up with 6 different topics from which TECH Mahindra mostly asks the questions in all its recruitment processes. And if you just invest your time in learning these 6 topics, definitely you will be having that upper hand than the other people, okay, who don't do this research and then study accordingly. So without further ado, we'll quickly get started. But before that, something about us. So we have been working in the training and development domain for the past 14 years to help students to realize their dream. And we have given a lot of opportunities for the students to get their first ever job, which is emotionally so much attached to a person. And we have been continuously doing this for the past 14 years, and we are happy that we have been doing it. And a little bit about the trainer. My name is Chetan Kumar, and I'm a master trainer working with Ethnus for about 5 years right now. And I have the experience of training more than 20,000 students across the country in leading universities like IITs, NITs, and VITs. Right, so before I get started, I would request all of you to join our Telegram channel, and I'll tell you why you have to join our Telegram channel. So that's the same time we have scheduled one technical interview. This session is going to help. Right, without further ado, and I will be closely checking the chat section. Right. And I forgot to ask you one thing related to the audibility. Now, if you feel that you're able to hear me properly without any technical glitches, quickly type a voice clear VC in the chat section. So this could be a primary acknowledgement for me that my audibility is perfect. Right, the timer is running and I have not received any answers yet. Regarding all this registration and the actual dates and all, you have to just join our Telegram channel, and that's where you will be keep posted. Right, great. Now time is up and I don't see anybody responding for this particular question, and let me check once again, is there any answer in the chat? Right, so we'll check it out. I'll come back to that in the later part, and I'll tell you how to solve this particular problem. So here, first of all, observe and read the question carefully. In a certain store, the profit is 240% of the cost price, and if the cost increases by 15% but the selling price remains constant, approximately what percentage of the selling price is the profit? Every terminology is important here, and you have 5 answer choices to answer this. Right, to begin with, if you don't know anything about cost price and selling price with respect to the actual magnitude, then you can always make an assumption that cost price can be assumed to be 100 every time when you don't have a particular value. Cost price can be assumed 100, and now cost price is 100 and it has been already given that profit percentage is 240%, right? So if cost price is 100 rupees, 240% of 100 will be 240 itself. So the selling price would become 100 plus 240 rupees as profit. So cost price plus profit will give you selling price, right? So selling price would become 340. All right, now the next part is if the cost increases by 15%. So now with respect to this cost price, so this has been increased by 15%. Now that 100 becomes 15 more, because 15% of 100 is 15 itself. So the cost price presently is 115. And now the selling price remains the constant. That means even now the selling price is 340 rupees. Now what will happen to the profit now? Yes, cost price is 115, selling price is 340. So the let's say the profit will now reduce to 225 rupees. 225 rupees. Now the question is, approximately what percentage of the selling price is 340, what percentage of the selling price is the profit? That is, this 225 is what percentage of 340 is the question. So 225 divided by 340 into 100 is your answer. Now simplification is 1 0 will get cancelled with this one. Now 2 5s are 10 and 2 17s are 34. And now next step is 17 one time, 17 one times 17, remaining is 5, 55. And all right, now you got answer as 13 point something. And I request all of you to stop here, because they're asking you approximately what percentage, right? Now you can approximate at this moment. 13 into 5, 13 point something into 5, but I'll consider 13 into 5 itself is 65, right? So your answer cannot be less than 65 at all. See, all the answers which are less than 65 can be eliminated. So your answer, right answer choice will be 66 will be the right answer. So option D is the perfect one. And I think here it is a human error that both the options are same. But in ideally examination, this kind of mistakes will not happen. That multiple answers will not be there in the answer choices, or the same answer choices will not be available. It will be different. But this is a mistake from my end. So apologies for that. Answer is 66%. Now quickly type clear in the chat section if you feel that you have understood this problem. And the next question is coming up for you from the concept of profit and loss again. So now be the quickest to answer this question also. Your time starts now. Meanwhile, I'll just check the chat section now. Yes, Sachin Suryavamshi was the first one to answer the previous question. That's really great, Sachin. I feel you are the only one who answered the question. Right, now this is the right opportunity for all of you to answer, or just to make an attempt to solve this kind of a problem. That is question number 2. Miss Seetala Devi, for your query, that is whether or not to apply for Tech Mahindra now, it will be updated shortly. Tech Mahindra is yet to make its announcement regarding the registration and all the other stuffs. So you can be on hold. So please follow our Telegram channel. That's where you can get answers for all these kind of queries. Right. So Muhammad Imran says option B, followed by Rimsha Khan 3000. That is option D. So you can just type your answer as the respective letters of the alphabet. Okay, you can type A, B, C, or D. Right, so we'll check it out what's the right answer. I can see multiple answers in the chat. Some people are saying option B, some are saying D, some are saying C, and I'll tell you what is the technique behind this particular question. Okay, see, this is a question from partnership. Okay, very important question in the Tech Mahindra aptitude examination point of view. See, their share, so the profit should always be shared in the same ratio as their investment. Okay, whatever is their investment ratio, in the same ratio the profit has to be divided. Now tell me, what is the investment ratio? How will you find out the investment ratio? It's very simple. In a business, Ram invests 60,000 rupees, right? And after 6 months his uncle invests 40,000. So let's check over here. Ram's contribution is here and his uncle's contribution is here. This is uncle. And Ram invested 60,000, right? And uncle has invested only 40,000. This is the first part. And now next part is what is the duration over which their investment has been done. Ram has invested for the entire year, right? Because he was there since the beginning. So his investment is for 12 months. Okay, 60,000 is for 12 months. But this 40,000 amount what his uncle invested, it's only after first 6 months is over. So his investment is only for 6 months. He has not invested for the entire year. So he will get his profit according to this condition for only 6 months based on this calculation. Now just simplify the ratio and check what answer you're gonna get. See, 4 zeros will be cancelled out with these 4 zeros, and 2 3s are 2 2s are. And now check 3 one time and 3 2 times. Now overall I got 12:4 ratio, or I can directly say it as 1:3 ratio. Okay, uncle is to Ram investment ratio is 1:3, or Ram is to uncle ratio is 3:1. So now if I consider Ram has invested only 3 rupees, then uncle's investment is 1 rupee. This is in the source level or the basic level. But if I add these two investments, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get 4 rupees. So that means if they get 4 rupees profit, out of that 4 rupees, 3 rupees should belong to Ram and 1 rupee should belong to uncle. But what is the profit that they have received in reality? 12,000 rupees, right? So now how this should be shared? Very simple. 4 rupees is your assumption. Okay, 4 rupees is what you got, but in reality it is 12,000. So now tell me, how will you convert this 4 into 12,000? Definitely you'll have to multiply it with 3,000 rupees, right? Or you have to multiply it with the number 3,000. Then only this 4 rupees will become 12,000 rupees. Now, if this total sum is multiplied by 3,000, these two entities should also be multiplied by the same element. Then you will get the share of individual person. So 3 rupees is what the share of Ram, right? So it will not be 3 rupees, it will be 3 into 3,000, which is 9,000 rupees. And uncle share is 1 rupee, but it is not 1 rupee. 1 into 3,000, which is 3,000 rupees. So the uncle share will definitely be 3,000 rupees, which is option D. So I believe this question is clear to all of you. Quickly type a clear in the chat section if you feel that you have understood this problem, and I will quickly give you the next question and let me check who is the first one to answer. Meanwhile, I'll just check the chat section. How many of you have given the right answer? Yes, I can see a lot of people have responded for the previous question. Option D, I could see a lot of option D's in the chat. Thank you so much, Reshma, Mr. Nayak, Shravanti, for acknowledging that you have understood. Thank you, Sudipti. Naveen also says that it's clear. Right. Now the next question is on the screen and you can answer this question if you know it. But this is a bit lengthy process, okay? This process involves a bit lengthy calculation. Please be careful while solving the problem. So ideally, you will be given only 1 minute of time to solve this kind of a problem. And 1 minute is over, means I will just go on to the explanation. Right. So I feel Sudipti is the first one to answer this question. That's really great, Sudipti, that you have come up with an answer. Abradeep also says 58. Okay. Nayak says option A, which is 45. Jayashree says option C, which is 55. Naveen also says 55, right? So now I'll directly proceed with the calculation part, how to solve this problem in two ways. One is the conventional method and the other one is the one more technique. See, you can solve it in two ways, okay? So the first method is assuming the cost price of the two items. So Anil purchased two books for 100 rupees, right? So cost price of first book I will consider as B1, cost price of the first book. So the second book's price may be 100 minus B1. Okay, these are with respect to cost price. So the cost price of the first book is B1 and the cost price of the second book is 100 minus B1. And now I'll just look at this one. He sells the first one at a loss of 5%. That means if the book is for 100 rupees, he lost 5% of this 100 and he still has 95% of the cost price, right? So if he loses 5%, he still has got 95% of the remaining amount. So selling price of the first item will be 5% is lost. So 95% of B1 is still there with the person, with Anil. Okay, because 5% is gone and 95% is still there. But in the second case, what is happening? He gets 20% extra. So 100% if I consider the total cost price to be, he gets 20% extra. So overall selling price of the second item becomes 120% of the cost price. And what is the cost price? 100 minus B1. Okay, so now selling price of the first item is available over here. This is the selling price of the first book and this is the selling price of the second book. And if I add these two, then I will get the total selling price, right? So what is the total selling price that I would be getting? And you can simplify here if you want. See, 5 19s are 95 and 5 20s are 100. Okay, 19 by 20, because calculation becomes easy if you simplify like this. 120 by 100, you can again simplify it like 5 26 are 20 and 25s are 100. So 6 by 5 into 100 minus B1. And now what is the total selling price? So I'm going to get 19 divided by 20 times of B1 plus 6 divided by 5 times of 100 minus B1. Okay, and let's say this will give me the total selling price, and the cost price of both the items I already know, that is 100 rupees, right? And I'm going to subtract this 100 from the selling price. So selling price minus cost price will definitely give me a profit, right? And what is the profit that he made? Overall 5% profit on the cost price, right? So 5% of the cost price means 5% of 100. How much it is? 5 rupees. So if I do that, I'm gonna get 5 rupees. So this is the equation. So selling price, overall selling price is over here in the bracket, minus cost price is 100, and if I do that, I will get 5 as the answer. Now if you simplify this, what you're gonna get, I will write it over here. Just check it. So 25 is there and one more, let's say nothing is there, divided by 1, right? So I will take the LCM to be 20. LCM of the denominator is 20. So 20 will be going to the other side directly and it will become 100. So now this will become 19 times B1 plus 5 4s are 20. 4 into 6 is 24. 24 into 100 is 2400 minus 6 into, or let's say 5 into 4 is 20. 4 into 6 is 24. 24 into B1 will give you minus 24 B1 minus 100 divided by 1, right? So 1 into 20 is 20. 20 into 100 will give you a 2000. And this will be equal to, let's say 100. Why 100? 5 is there and 20 is the LCM, right? It goes to the other side and it becomes 20 into 5, which is 100. And now you got minus 5 times B1 plus 400 will be equal to 100, or take this 5B1 to the other side so that you will get 5 times B1 will be equal to 400 minus 100 will be 300, or that implies B1, that is cost price of book 1, right? The first book. B1 is equal to 60 rupees. Done. Answer. Okay, that's how I did it, and I believe that this one was clear to all of you. And if you're extremely good at the basic terminologies of profit and loss and profit percentage, loss percentage, these kind of problems can be solved easily. But wait, how many of you did not really like this method? I personally did not like this. In that case, you can directly go by the answer choices as well. And why do I say you have to go by answer choices? Because it's easy compared to this conventional method. I'll tell you how to solve this problem using answer choices. Especially when these kind of problems are asked, it is recommended that you will go with the perfect value or friendly value. Now, which is the value that is friendly over here? Always it will be in the similar way. So if I go for 60, 60 is my first friendly value, right? And this, for this, applying this percentage value becomes very easy. So now they're asking what is the cost price of the first book, right? And I will go with option B. I will check whether it is right or not. So if I consider the cost price of the first book as 60, so the second one of course will have to become 40. And now I lost 5% in the first book. While selling the first book, I lost 5%, right? And while selling the second one, this is with respect to cost price. And while selling second one, I got 20% profit. Now check, what is 5% of 60? See, 10% of 60 is 6, right? Shifting one decimal point from right to left, 10% is 6. So 5% will be half of 6, which is 3. So that means selling price of the first item will be 57 rupees. I lost 5% of 60. 5% of 60 is 3. So 60 minus 3 will give you 57. Similarly, if you go for the second one, in the second case, you got 20% profit. So 10% of 40 will be 4. 20% will become 8. So overall, selling price of the second item becomes 48. Now just check what selling price you're getting in total. 57 plus 48 is gonna give you 105, and that 105 is 5% of the 100. Absolutely makes sense. So your answer is option B. And this is how you will solve the problems on profit and loss if you're extremely good at analyzing the answer choices. Great. So I believe you people have understood both the techniques, that is the conventional method as well as the option elimination method. So if you have understood that, please type a clear in the chat section and I'll give you the next question. Very simple one, but again highly important question format, especially for Tech Mahindra. And this question is from the concept of ages. Meanwhile, I'll just check the chat section. Yes, Nayak, I think I have read your mind voice. Yes, I actually went with the option elimination technique itself in the later part. And meanwhile, I was not actually going through your chat, and now that I can see that you recommended me to go by the answer choices. Very good. Thank you so much. That means you have understood both the techniques. Right. The next question is already on the screen, and I request you to go through the question and take your 1 minute of time. Very simple. This doesn't require 1 minute of time to solve because this is a 5-second problem if you're really good at observation. Very good. That was super quick response from Mr. Sachin Suryavamshi, and he says 10 as the answer, and we'll check it out whether it is right or not. Yes. Dhyaneshwar also says option A. Divya Paramesh says option A. Shravanti Reddy says option B. Okay, that's the only lateral answer I got. And I think Nayak, you have to check your answer because yeah, I just understood that you were able to solve the problem using option method, right? So in option method, you will get the answer very easily without even needing for the question to be solved with the help of equations. Right, I'll tell you how to solve this problem in a while. So I will first tell you how people will usually solve this kind of a problem. So they will initially assume that the ratios of the ages of the A and B is 2:3, right? So they will assume the ages of both A and B as 2x and 3x. This is the first step they do. And in the second case, after 5 years, that means A will become 2x plus 5, right? And B will become 3x plus 5. This is after 5 years. And a ratio of their ages is given. After 5 years, what will it happen? It has been given 3:4. Now it's enough if you just equate this ratio. Something like 2x plus 5 is to 3x plus 5. This ratio is given as 3:4. Now if you simplify, you will get the answer. Something like 2x plus 5 divided by 3x plus 5 will be equal to 3/4. And now this implies 8x plus 20 will be equal to 9x plus 15. So this gives me that x is equal to 5. And if x is equal to 5, what is the age of A? What is the present age of A? We have assumed it to be 2 times of x, right? So 2 times of x is 2 into 5, which is 10. So option A is perfectly fine. Now quickly tell me how many of you solved the problem by this method. If you have solved the problem by this method, quickly type me in the chat section. I don't know which technique you have followed in order to arrive at the answer, but I have one more technique, that is by observation. You can solve ages problem just by your observation too. So I'll tell you what is that in a couple of seconds. Right. So the other technique to solve this problem is very simple. Just observe here. Present ratio is 2:3, right? This is the present age ratio of A and B. And 5 years later, what is it gonna happen? 3:4. But in the source form, increment happened only by 1, right? Plus 1. Both of them has incremented by 1. But in reality, they have incremented by 5. In reality, they have incremented by 5. So that means, according to this, it is wrong. In reality, it should be plus 5. But in the expression format, you got just plus 1. Both of them have incremented their age by only 1. But in reality, it is plus 5, right? So your reality is 5 times of your assumption. You got to know that your reality, this is your reality, and this is 5 times of the age difference, right? So if this is 5 times, their actual age will also be 5 times of the assumption. So A is 2 and 5 times of 2 will become 10 directly, answer, without even solving the problem. And let's say, what is the age of B? B will also be 5 times of the assumed value, that is 3 into 5, 15 years. And that's how you solve the problem by observation. See, according to the assumption, age difference is 1 year. But in reality, it should be 5 years, right? Their present age and age before should be 5 years difference. But in the assumption part, it is only 1 year difference. So you got to know that reality is 5 times of your assumption value. So definitely assumed age is 2, right? So reality 2 into 5, 10. For A, and for B, it is 3 into 5, 15. So I believe this question is clear to all of you in both the ways, conventional method and shortcut technique. And I will give you the next question, and this is for you, all of you. And quickly type your answer in the chat if you know how to solve this problem. But meanwhile, I'll just check the chat section how many of you have understood. Okay, right. So I believe that the shortcut technique was helpful while solving the problems on this ages related problem. Yes, thank you so much for acknowledging that the method is useful for you. Great. And I have this kind of problems throughout in the entire webinar, so please be with me till 6:15. Right. So the next question is ready, and please try to solve the problems. So last 15 seconds, and within 1 minute of time you should be able to read the question fully, and then you should be able to solve also. At least you should be able to solve the problem by half of the total process. Okay, you should be reaching midway once 1 minute of time is over, at least. Right, and that actually comes by practice. There is no other shortcut technique. As you invest your time more and more in this kind of practice sessions, definitely your proficiency will become better and better. Right. Now this question, at the time of marriage, a man was 6 years elder to his wife. 12 years after their marriage, his age is 6 by 5 times of the age of his wife. So what was wife's age at the time of marriage? So you need to understand one thing here. So the first thing is, let us check, man will be here, okay, and this is that lady. Man is here, lady is here. Now what will happen is, at the time of marriage, man was 6 years elder to his wife. So let us check, I will consider the lady's age, or let's say the wife's age as W years only. I will consider at the time of marriage. This is at the time or at the marriage directly. Age of the wife was W, and men was 6 years elder to his wife, right? So men will be W plus 6, and this is during the marriage. And 12 years after their marriage, that means plus 12 years should be added. So wife will become W plus 12 years after 12 years, and man will become W plus 6 plus 12. So 6 plus 12 will become 18 for sure. So man is presently W plus 18 after 12 years, and the wife is W plus 12 only. And at this moment, they are telling you that man's age is 6 by 5 times of the age of the wife. So that means 6 by 5 times of the wife's age will be equal to W plus 18. So 6 by 5 times of wife's age is equal to man's age. Now if you just simplify this problem, take 5 to the other side and it will become 5 into W 5W plus 18 into 5 is 90 will be equal to 6W plus 12 6 are 72. Okay, so now you get take this 5 to the other side and it will become W, and this is the age of the wife, right? So 90 minus 72 will give you 18. So answer for this particular problem is 18. So during the time of a marriage, wife was only 18 years of age. So option C is the right answer. And I believe this technique is clear for all of you, and this is the conventional way of solving the problem. But how to solve this problem? Again, by observation. Observation in the sense, just without solving the problems in this real way, we can solve the problem using the answer choices also. And I'll tell you, this is little time consuming, but still you can utilize this. They're telling that what is the wife's age at the time of marriage. So if we consider wife age as 36 at the time of marriage, now let's say the husband's age will definitely be 42 because 6 years elder, right? So this is wife and this is husband. So if she is 36, then the husband will become 42. And now after 12 years means plus 12, right? So 42 plus 12 will give you a 54, and then 36 plus 12 will give you a 48. And now check whether 6 by 5 of this value is gonna give you a 54. Definitely it's not gonna give you 54, right? Because let's say 5 9s are 45 and you will get a 0.6, right? So 9.6 into 6 is nowhere it's gonna give you a 54. So option A is eliminated. Similarly, you can go for the next one. If wife age during the marriage is 30, the husband will become 36 because 6 years elder, and then after 12 years means husband will become 48 and this girl will become 42. And now again 6 by 5 times of this one will not give you a 48. That's also gone. But in 18 this will work out fine. How? Let's say if the age of the wife is 18, husband will definitely be 24. Okay, this is husband. And now after 12 years, what is going to happen? He will be 36, right? And wife will be 30. And check whether 6 by 5 is going to give you 36. 5 ones are 5 6 are 6 into 6 is 36. Done. Answer. And this is how you're going to solve the problems on ages, just by following the pattern in the answer choice available. If you have understood the problem, you can quickly type a clear in the chat section. And if you really feel that this is one more different technique that we got to know how to approach an aptitude problem, quickly type a cool in the chat section. So this can be a motivation for the host to come up with something like this every time whenever we have a YouTube session in the future. Right. So I will go for the next question, and I will look the chat section for the response of the previous problem. Yes, a lot of you have said that it's option C, 18 years, and that's really great that you have understood. And Madhukant says it's clear, bro. Okay, thank you so much for acknowledging that. I got a clear idea whether the things are conveying properly or not. So thank you so much for confirming one more time. Right. Now the next question is ready for all of you, and you can just start solving the problem before the time. Yes, there is one answer already in the chat from Sachin Suryavamshi. Mayuri Shinde is the next one to answer, followed by Divya. Prathamesh also says 45. Right. And I'm happy to see that all the answers are 45 except Mr. Badal, you have to check your answer once. I think you have made a little mistake in the calculation. Yes, Sudipti also says 45. Great. Yes, I can see a lot of people have started typing 45 as the answer. That's really great. Very good. So now let me just go with the calculation part, how to solve this kind of a problem. Very simple. If you just are good at observation, you will be able to solve this problem. See, you don't write down anything, just read the question. A man is 3 years older than his wife. That means if wife's age is W, man's age will definitely be W plus 3. So this is man, and let's say this is wife, and let us this be son. And he is 4 times as old as his son. That means if son is 1 years of age, the person or the dad will be 4 times of the age. That is 4 years. So you should understand that. And now, if the son attains an age of 15 years after 3 years, that means if plus 3 is added to his year, he will become 15 years. Only if plus 3 is added. But if it is not added, then it will give you the present age of the son, right? If plus 3 is not done. So after 3 years, it will be 15. So presently, what is the age of the son? Definitely this will be 12. And if son's age is 12, the dad's age will be 4 times of this, right? So what is 4 times of 12? 4 times of 12 will be 48. And we already know that dad or the man is 3 years elder to the wife, right? So definitely wife will be 48 minus 3. So answer will be 45 years of age. So since they have asked what is the age of the mother, right? So definitely 45 will be the answer. Don't be in excitement to write the answer as 48. People in excitement, they're most likely to tick option C as the right answer, just like one of you did in the chat. But don't do that. Read the question and what is been asked, answer to that question. Great. And I believe that you people have understood this, and I will move on to the next question. But before that, I request all of you to type a clear in the chat section if you feel that you have understood the previous question's example or the explanation. Right. Yes, I can see that a lot of you have typed 45 as the answer. Then it means that acknowledgement is not required, but still it's great if you just type your answer in the chat. Right. So the next question is available on the screen now, and we have completed 2 types of problems so far. The first type of problem was from profit and loss, and the second type of problem that we discussed is from the concept of ages, and both the concepts are highly important for TECH Mahindra Aptitude Essential, because you are definitely going to get questions from profit and loss as well as ages concept. Right. So your time is up, and I'll tell you how to solve the problems on time and work now. There is a shortcut technique to solve time and work related problems. So there are majorly three types of problems possible in time and work. Okay, so the first type of problem is, let's say, individual work. First type of problem is individual work. Second type of a problem is teamwork. And third type of a problem is pipes and system. Alright, so we'll discuss all the three types of problem because it is very important for Tech Mahindra Drive, and I'll tell you how to solve this kind of a problem. But mark one particular thing over here, these two are one and the same. Okay, these two are one and the same. That is, individual work and pipes and system problems are one and the same. So if you just know one technique, you can apply the same technique for the other aspect as well. Only difference is in individual work, they will give you the names of the people, something like Ramesh, Suresh, some random names. But in pipes and system, this Ramesh and Suresh will be replaced by pipe A and pipe B. That's it. So people are replaced by pipe. That's it. Done. That's the only difference. But teamwork, you should pay a little bit of attention. Anyway, we'll discuss that. And now in individual work, we have to solve the problem like this every time. So probably you are comfortable solving the problem by the fractional method. Something like, if work is getting completed in n days, then amount of work done in one day will be 1 by n, right? So this is called fractional method of solving. This is called fraction method of solving, and I'm not going to address this. I'm not going to tell you what is fraction method. So I will go for one more technique to address this one. Very simple one, yet powerful technique it is. So you just need to know the difference or the relationship between time, efficiency, and work. That's it. If you just know the relation of time, efficiency, and work, you will be able to solve this problem. How much work you have given that, and you are having this time values, that is time taken, and check with the is divisible by all the given numbers. 27 is divisible with the definitely it will not be divisible by 12. So the next value that is possible is 108, right? That's absolutely possible. So 108 is divisible by 27, 9 and 12 also. And if you don't like this method, you can go by your conventional method of finding LCM. Right. So 108 is the LCM of these values, and this will give you the total work. So the total work itself is 108 units. So now, first what we did, time, efficiency, work, we categorized it, and then time taken by A, B and C is known. That is 27, 9 and 12 days respectively. I have taken the LCM, and whatever LCM I get, that will be the total amount of work. And now, in order to complete this 108 units of work, A is taking 27 days, right? Now, if he is taking 27 days to complete 108 units of work, what is the amount of work done in one day? What is the amount of work done in one day? That is its efficiency. That itself is the efficiency, right? So answer for that is 108 divided by 27. Or you can also think like 27 into what is going to give me 108. Definitely it will give me a 4, right? So that means A will be able to complete 4 units of work in one day. So similarly, B is gonna complete 12 units of work in one day, because in one day 12 units. So in 9 days 108 units will be completed. Similarly, C will be completing 108 units in 12 days. So what is the amount of work done in one day? Definitely it is 9. So this is the per day work. Okay, this is per day work. Units of work done in one day. So now just read the question. B and C start the work. That means only B and C will be working together. And how many days they have worked? They have worked for 4 days. Now let's say if B and C work together for one day, how many units will be completed? Yeah, B will complete 12 units in one day and C will complete 9 units, right? So overall they will be completing 21 units in one day. And they have worked together for 4 days, right? So definitely the total completed work, how much unit of work is completed? 21 into 4, that is 84 units have been completed. 84 units have been completed before this B and C left the job. Now how much is remaining? Out of 108, remaining is let's say 24 units, right? Yes, 16 plus 8, 24, correct. Now who has to complete this work? This has to be completed by A alone. And A is capable of completing 4 units in one day. So in order to complete 24 units, how many days are required? 24 divided by 4, 6 days are required. Done. Answer. The best technique to solve the problems on individual work. And I believe this method is clear to all of you. And if there is no network interruption, you can just go back to this explanation, whatever I provided in the later part also, if you feel that you did not understand. But people who have understood this technique, quickly type a clear in the chat section. I will proceed further with the next question. Right? This is also somewhat similar, but it is a teamwork related problem. Yes, thank you so much for confirming, and I believe that you people have understood this problem, right? And every time whenever individual work related problems are given, you can solve by this technique, that is table method of solving the problem, or it is also called LCM method of solving, right? So the next question is ready, and the next question is actually from teamwork related concept. In the initial case, you were given with the individual person, right? A, B, and C. But right now, you have a group of people. And how to solve that kind of a problem? Very easy. And let's check who is going to give me the answer for this particular problem. So time is running, and quickly tell me what is the answer for this particular problem. Right, very good. Rimsha Khan is the first one to answer. That's really great that you have come up with an answer, and you said option D as the right answer. That's really great, Rimsha. Who else is able to answer this question? Very important. I'll tell you how to solve this problem. So if you understood this table method, whatever I recommended so far, it's easy for you to solve this problem. Okay, without further ado, I will just proceed with the calculation, and your time is up. And just look at here. See, 12 men can complete the work in 10 days. Okay, and let's say 10 women can complete this task in 15 days. This is the first part of the question. And now you have to check 20 men and 20 women are working together. But before that, you need to know 20 men will take how many days and 20 women will take how many days. Only if you know this, you will be able to solve the problem. And that can be solved like this. That means always keep this thing in mind, that is number of men is inversely proportional to days. All right, you're getting my point? Because as you have more number of people, the work gets completed quickly. Work will be completed in lesser number of days. And if you have less number of people, the number of days taken will be more, right? So they are inversely proportional. So if I just remove, in order to remove this symbol, I just have to add a constant, right? So m into d will be equal to a constant. This relation has to be kept in mind. And m into d is a constant, means now product of men and day will always give you a constant, and that constant is said to be work. Okay, so that means total work present over here, this is men and this is number of days, right? This is men and number of days. 12 into 10 will be the total work. That's it, done. Okay, 120. 10 into 12, 120, right? This is the total work, and this should be constant every time, no matter what. Now, in order to maintain 120, then what value have to be written here? Definitely 6 days will be the answer. That's it. So if 12 men take 10 days to complete a task, 20 men will take only 6 days to complete the task. Okay, that's how you do it. And next, 10 women take 15 days to complete the task, means 10 women will take how many days? So here the product will be 150, right? Product is 150. Now, if you just have to get 150 from 20, definitely you have to multiply it with 7.5 or directly divide 150 by 20. You will get the answer, right? So that means 20 men will complete it in 6 days and 20 women can complete the task in 7.5 days. Now you got to know time, efficiency and work. You can go by the method that I recommended. So 20 men are present over here and 20 women are present over here. And what is the time taken by 20 men? 6 days. What is the time taken by 20 women? 7.5 days. And this is the number of days, right? And I told you, if you have the time values, directly take the LCM in order to get the total work. And what is the LCM? I told you, you have to look for the maximum number, right? And you have to go on getting the multiples of the maximum number. 7.5 is not divisible by 6. 15 is not divisible by 6. Next is 22.5, anyway not will be divisible by 6. And the next value will be 30, right? 7.5 into 4 times will give you a 30. So 30 is the total unit of work. And in order to complete this 30 unit, 20 men are taking 6 days, right? So what is the amount of work done in one day? 5 units of work will be done in one day. And in order to complete this 30 units of work, 20 women are taking 7.5 days. So what is the amount of work done in one day? 4 units will be completed in one day. Now, 20 men and 20 women are working together, right? That means in one day, 20 men and 20 women together will complete 5 plus 4, 9 units. And in one day, if they complete 9 units of work, in order to complete 30 units, how many days are required? This is the question. Your answer is 30 divided by 9. I can say this as 9 3s are 27, 3 is remaining out of 9. And I can say this as 3 1 by 3, done, answer. Option D is the right answer. So I believe that you people have understood this technique. Quickly type a clear in the chat section if you feel that you have understood this problem. And I will just check the chat section once whether or not you have understood this problem. Yes, I can see many of you have typed your answer in the chat that option D, the right answer. I think Prathamesh, you have to check your answer because you told me a little lateral answer, but anyway, in examination it would be considered a wrong attempt itself. So please be careful about giving your answer. Right, so I will move on to the next question now. And this is the last question from time and work, and maximum level of difficulty of this kind can be expected in TECH Mahindra. This is the maximum level of difficult question. And the moment when the question is available to you, start solving the problem and don't fail to respond in the chat. Right, so I will give you 1 minute of time to solve this problem. All right, Rimsha Khan is the first one to answer even now for this particular problem. That's really great that you have come up with an answer. And last 10 seconds of time, and after that I will only explain this problem. Right. So you can be attempting this question, but once I start explaining the problem, you can just pay attention to the explanation so that you don't miss anything, and there is no necessity that you have to go through the video one more time. Anyway, this video will be available even after the live session is over. This will be available on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I request all of you to do that now, because every time whenever we post a new video, it will be available to you and you will be notified. Right. So I will just go with the explanation here. Very important thing, and I already told you pipes and cistern and individual work related problems are the same. So now here understand, pipe A is there and a leakage is also there. So that means one person is filling the tank and the other person is emptying the tank. That means negative work is included in this particular problem. So I will consider pipe A over here and leakage as L over here. So that means pipe A is filling the tank in 2 hours, right? So 2 will be taken as the time taken by pipe A, and with the leakage, due to the leakage means pipe A is filling the tank and leakage is also working, right? And because of this, 1/3 hours extra time has been taken. Now here it is for both leakage and pipe A. If they are working together, they are doing it in 1/3, and 1/3 means I can take it as 2.33. Okay, so that means if pipe A is working alone, it can fill the tank in 2 hours. Since there is a leakage, it is taking extra time. That means both leakage and pipe are working together. That is the meaning. One is doing positive work and one more is doing the negative work. So now you have two time values here, and the moment when you get two time values, what is the next step? Take the LCM, right? So now go on with the multiples of these values. So let's say 2.33 3 times. I will directly take 3 times of the value, because 2.33 2 times means it will still give you a decimal points, right, which will not be divisible by 2. But if you take 2.33 3 times, you will get a 7, but that 7 is again not divisible by 2, right? So the next possible value is 2.33 into 6 directly, because it is going to give you a 14. So definitely LCM of 2 and 2.33 will be 14, because this is the number which will be divided by both 2 and 2.33. So this will be the total work. So now I will write the efficiency. If pipe A is filling the 14 liters of tank, so now this is work, right? And in case of pipes and system, this work can be considered capacity of the tank. Capacity of the tank in liter. That means the tank capacity is 14 liter. Now pipe A is filling this 14 liters of tank in 2 hours. Now what is the amount of liquid filled in 1 hour? It is 7 liter, right? 7 liter in 1 hour. Similarly, 2.33 hours is taken to fill the tank with the help of a leakage. So that means only let's say 6 liter will be filled in 1 hour. If leakage is there, only 6 liter will be filled in 1 hour. How did I get this? Yes, 14 divided by 2.33 will give me a 6 units. So that means with the leakage, it is giving you only 6 units in 1 hour. So now tell me, what is the leakage rate in 1 hour? How much water is going out of the tank in 1 hour? So definitely you can consider from this, right? Leakage means it is actually emptying the tank. If leakage is not there, 7 units will be done, right? 7 liters of water will be filled. With the leakage, only 6 units. That means 1 liter is leaking out. So in 1 hour, it will empty 1 liter of water. So now the question is, if the tank is full, that means if the tank is 14 liter full, how much time taken by empty the tank by this leakage? 1 hour, 1 liter means in order to empty 14 liter, definitely 14 liters or 14 hours required. And this is how you solve the problems on pipes and system. Right. So I will tell you how to solve this particular problem now. But before that, let me just check whether the network interruption is still there. Right. So I don't think the network interruption is there now. So now you understand one point here. The question is a bit lengthy, but still, a train leaves city X for city Y at 15 meter per hour. Let's say this is city X. Okay, this is city X, and a train starts from here and it moves towards city Y at a speed of 15 miles per hour in this direction. At the same time, another train starts from Y at a speed of 20 miles per hour, and it starts moving towards city X. And at the same moment, when these two trains start their journey, at the same time, a bird leaves city X and it starts flying towards city Y at a speed of 25 miles per hour. And when the bird reaches, the speed of the bird is a little more, right? And when it reaches the second train, it changes its direction and it flies back to the first train. And when it comes in this direction again, when it touches the first train, again it turns around and it actually flies towards the second train again. And when it reaches the second train, again it comes back, and this motion is continuous until the two trains meet with each other, or until two trains collide. Bird will continuously move this action. from train 1 to train 2. When it meets train 2, reverse and go back to the first train. When it meets there, reverse and come back to the second and do this transition. And in this case, what happened? The question is how far the bird would have flown in this particular mean time. So now the understanding is very simple. Let's say city X is here, city Y is here. Bird will fly from this particular moment onwards, right? When these two trains start from this point. And at the same time, bird is also starting. And bird will stop flying when these two trains meet each other. That means bird will be in continuous motion until these two trains meet each other. Now tell me, what is the time taken by the trains to meet each other? So time taken is the formula distance divided by speed. So distance we don't know, we can consider it to be d, and the speed, two trains are moving in the opposite direction, means definitely sum of the speed has to be taken, because relative speed is the concept, right? So 20 miles per hour and 15 miles per hour, that means 35 miles per hour is the speed. So time taken by the trains to meet each other is d by 35 hour. Okay, d by 35 hour. And now the bird will also do this transition for d by 35 hours only, right? Now the question is, what is the distance traveled by the bird? So distance traveled by the bird is speed of the bird into time taken by the bird. I told you this time will be equal to time taken by the bird, right? So speed of the bird is 25 miles per hour and time taken by the bird is d by 35. And now if you simplify this, 5 5s are 25, 5 7s are 35. So 5d by 7 is the answer. So option B is the right answer for this particular problem. And I believe that this question is clear to all of you, and I'll move on to the next question. And I request all of you to solve this. But if you have understood the previous question, quickly type a yes in the chat section. And I think in the middle, some network interruption was there. Now I think it's resolved now. So quickly acknowledge by typing a clear in the chat section if you feel that you have understood the previous example. Right, so thank you so much. Now for this particular problem, what's the answer? So that is average of first 37 numbers, first 37 even natural number is. What is the answer for this particular problem? Now before you answer this question, you just answer this question. What is the average of first 3 even natural number, 2, 4 and 6? The average is 12 by 3, which is 4, right? Or the middle element itself is the average. So in case of 3 natural numbers, 3 even natural numbers, it is the answer is 4. Similarly, for the first 5 numbers, let's say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, what would be the average of these numbers? Definitely it would be 6. Or you can also observe one more point over here, is that when you consider average of first 3 numbers, first 3 even natural numbers, first number will definitely be 2, right? And if I'm asking you 3 natural number, first 3 natural numbers, then 2 into 3, last number will definitely be 6. And how will you find out the average if first term and last term is known? 2 plus 6 divided by 2. That is first term plus last term divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 will give you a 4. Similarly over here, first 5 natural numbers. So first number is 2, last number is 2 into 5, that is 10. 12 divided by 2 will give you a 6, and that's how you find out the answer. So now 37 is the value, right? 37 even natural number. So the first number is 2, last number is 37 into 2, which is 60 plus 14, 74. Now the answer is 2 plus 74, 76 divided by 2 will give you a 38 as the answer. Answer is 38. But what if I tell you, you don't need to know the last term also in order to answer this question. Whatever number has been given, just increment it by 1. That itself is the answer. 38, done. And you can see for the first 3 numbers, they're asking for the 3 numbers, right? First three numbers, answer is 3 plus 1, which is 4. For the first five numbers, answer is 5 plus 1, that's it, answer. And this is how smart your calculation should become, and this is possible only if you invest your time in understanding all these concepts clearly. So answer for this question is, if they're asking you first n even natural numbers average, then the answer is always n plus 1. Okay, close your eyes and write n plus 1 as the answer. So I believe this question is clear to all of you. Now I'll move on to the next one, and before that I request all of you to acknowledge a yes in the chat section if you have understood the previous question. Right, so this is the next question for you. Very important question and very easy also. And I will be needing another 10 minutes of time to complete this webinar. All right, so only 10 minutes, and within that stipulated time I will complete the webinar and will move on to the conclusion part. Right, now this is the question for all of you, and I'll tell you how to solve this question with the help of a shortcut technique. See, the average age of husband and wife is 24. That means husband plus wife divided by 2 will be equal to 24, right? This is the definition of average. And now if you just take the sum of their age, what will it give you? Husband plus wife will definitely be 24 into 2, which will be 48 years. And this is the time of marriage. Okay, this is the time of marriage. And now in the middle they have got a kid. Okay, and now presently, okay, presently after 5 years, what's happening? Average age of husband, wife and the child is 20. Now at present, that means after 5 years, husband, wife plus child C divided by 3 is 60. Now this actually gives me that husband plus wife plus kid or the children is equal to 60. Sum of the age is 60. And when this is happening? After 5 years. That is marriage plus 5. After marriage plus 5 years happened, right? And this is happening like this. And at the time of marriage, their sum of age was 48, right? Now after 5 years, husband will also be plus 5 and wife will also be plus 5, right? So what is the increment in the age after 5 years? Definitely husband and wife will be 58 years of age, because after 5 years, both of their age will be incremented by 5, right? 5 years each. So 48 was the sum of the age, but presently after 5 years, they both will contribute 58 years. And now we know the sum of the three people is 60. So definitely what will be the value of this child? That age will be 2 years for sure. Answer for this problem is 2 years. So I will move on to the next one. Okay, and this is a problem from simple interest, and this is one more important topic that you need to focus for TECH Mahindra specific paper. And you can just type your acknowledgement by typing a yes in the chat section if you have understood the previous problem. And this question is from simple interest concept, and again one of the important aspects to be noted if you want to clear TECH Mahindra Aptitude Essential. Right, so timer is activated already, and I believe that you people have started solving the problem. So now this is a simple problem, that is simple interest will be equal to P into T into R divided by 100. This is a simple interest formula, right? And just look at here, Lily took 1500 with simple interest. That means principal amount is 1500 for as many years as the rate of interest per annum. That means time taken and rate of interest are the same. And if these two are same, I can convert any one entity into the other one, right? So I will consider T is equal to R because both of them are same only, right? So this will become R into R divided by 100 will be equal to 735, because this is the interest, simple interest. So now two zeros will be cancelled out and you will get the answer of r square as 735 divided by 15. 735 divided by 15 is going to give you 15 fours are 60, 13, 135 means 9. Okay, r square is 9 means definitely r will be equal to 7%. Done. Answer will be 7%. I can see a lot of you have responded well for this particular problem also. That is 7%. Very good. It's a great calculation that you have got the answer. And I will move on to the next question directly. But before that, quickly acknowledge whether or not you understood this problem. And I believe majority of you might have understood this problem clearly. And this is the last question of the evening. And be the first one to answer. And let me check who is the first one to answer this particular problem. A took loan at 8% per annual simple interest for a period of 4 years. At the end of 4 years, he paid 62,700 to clear his loan. How much loan did he take? So now understanding is this 62,700 is the total amount that he paid, and this will involve both principal amount plus simple interest. For how many years? 4 years at a rate of 8% per annum. And what is the strategy to solve this? Very simple. For the first year, what is the rate of interest? 8%. For the second year, what is the rate of interest? Again 8%. It will remain the same for eternity in simple interest. So now if you just understand, after the completion of 2 years, he has paid 16% of the principal amount as the interest. Now tell me, after 4 years, how much amount he would have been paid as an interest? 8% into 4, that is 32% will be, 32% of the principal amount will be equal to the simple interest. So now the total amount will become, total amount to be paid is 100% of principal amount has to be given, and extra 32% of the interest is added, that is 32% of P. So overall you got to know that it is 132% of the principal amount is 62,700. Okay, this is the process. 132% of the principal amount he needs to pay after the completion of 4 years as the total amount. So that is given 62,700. Now how to simplify this? Very simple. Just look at here. P will be calculated as 62,700, and these 2 zeros in the denominator will go to the other side and it will become 2 more zeros, and divided by 132. And I will write this 132 as 11 into 12. Every time whenever I have a very bigger number, I will just segment it into 2 easy numbers. So now I'll do 11 into 12, right? So now next step is I will check divisibility of 12. I know divisibility by 12 says that it should be divisible by both 4 and 3. If any number is said to be divisible by 12, the number should definitely be divisible by both 4 and 3. Definitely at the end we have 2 zeros, right? So this is divisible by 4 anyway, and check whether it is divisible by 3. 6 is divisible, 7 plus 2 is 9, divisible, done. The number is divisible by 12. Now I'll divide this number by 12. So 12 5s are 60, 2 is here, 12 2s are 24, 3 is here, 12 2s are 24, 6 is here, 12 5s are, and 2 zeros as it is. So you got this, and now you have to divide it by 11. And if you divide it by 11, 11 4s are 44, 8 is here, 82, 11 7s are 77. That's it. So the answer will begin with 47, and only answer that begins with 47 is option B. And your answer is option B for this problem. And if you're still not convinced, you can just go on getting the solution. Your answer will be 47,500. So I believe today's session was useful to all of you, and I think I have taken some bit of extra time. So apologies for that. Anyway, it was just for the improvement of everybody, right? And that's the reason why I just thought of completing all the problems. And if before I conclude, if you have not let's say joined our Telegram channel, please join it immediately, because you will be posted every time whenever we have a new session on our YouTube channel. You will be posted, if you get subscription to the Telegram channel, and also you will get a plenty of quizzes related to your upcoming placement drives. And before I end up, I would like to inform all of you that tomorrow at 5 o'clock you have a technical webinar, and it will deal purely about the most probable technical questions asked in Tech Mahindra interview. And if you are worried about your technical interview, this session is for you, and I request all of you to just attend tomorrow's session and get the benefit of it. And please closely look at the chat section, because the link for this Telegram channel is available in the chat section. Please join our Telegram channel. And thank you so much for joining the session, and thank you so much for your active responses in the chat section. And if you have not subscribed or joined our social media platform yet, so this is the right time. And if you have any queries or concern, you can just contact us on our WhatsApp number, and you can just contact us through mobile phone also. And Facebook/Ethnus is our Facebook ID. Instagram/code_Mithra is our Instagram channel. And please just follow our official pages. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do that now, because this is highly important at this moment to just pay attention to the important aspects, because we have got only limited amount of time, and we are doing our best efforts to give you the maximum benefit within the stipulated duration of time by conducting these kind of webinars. This will be highly beneficial and useful for your upcoming placement drives, and I believe that you people will definitely hit the subscription once the session is over. So thank you so much once again, and hoping to meet you all soon in the next webinar. And until then, it's bye bye from Chetan Kumar. Have a wonderful day.